Hello, good people. I am here. Hello, hello, hello. So glad to be with you all. It says I have. Hope you all can see me. I think you all can. All right. It is Monday yet again, and I am Nickquolette Barrett, your hostess with the mostest, also known as the Get Higher Strategist, coming to you with another episode all about interviewing. This month for October, we are sponsoring Sharpen Your Interview Skills Month all month long. So if you didn't catch it from last week, make sure you go out to the YouTube channel and subscribe and make sure that you catch last week's episode. And guess what, you all? They have now allowed us to have handles at YouTube. I am so excited. It's like it's been a long time for them to do that. And so now you can find me at the Get Hired Strategist. Yes, that is my handle on YouTube. And I am so excited because that goes in line with what I'm going to be doing on next year. So you got to come back and you got to stay tuned for what's going to happen on next year. Okay, so you all probably see I'm kind of casual today. I got the little ponytail going on. I got the hat going on. It is really rainy and cold here in North Dallas. We're actually Dallas, Texas. So it is a little chilly. So I'm a little bit more casual today and thinking about what are we going to have for dinner? I want chili. Let's see if the family agrees. So, hello, hello. Let me know that you all are there. Hi, Nairobi. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So glad to have you. And I always ask you all to share the broadcast and make sure that everybody else can join as well. It's supposed to snow. I know there's been a lot of snow, and even hours north of us in Oklahoma, it's supposed to snow there as well. So it's like, oh my gosh, snow. And you know what? I don't miss it. It is pretty to look at, but I don't miss it at all. I love being here. For those of you all who do not know, I was born and raised in Chicago, in the inner city Chicago, not the suburbs, the real Chicago, inner city Chicago, Illinois. And oh my gosh, the winters were brutal. So I don't miss it. I, don't mind it, but I don't miss it at all. So stay warm while you are there, Nairobi. But yeah, it's really cold here with all the rain. And I didn't care. I said, I don't, my husband's like, it's raining, it's raining. I'm like, okay. I went out and got my exercise on anyway. So I went to the health club and I went on ahead. Yes, it rained on me and all that kind of stuff. So that's another reason why I have this little ponytail going on and not my hair because my do was gone. But I didn't care. I got my workout on. So you were born in Chicago too. All right now. You. Awesome. So I am so excited to be with you all today because I am going to be talking about more about interview prepping and giving you all some additional tips on this. And I did a little, if I have a couple of minutes, sometimes I always do some PowerPoint for you all to kind of drive home more the point of what I'm trying to talk about, so you all can get a visual. So I am going to save it so I don't lose it. Interview prep. Okay, so I'm going to do this and I'm going to showcase it. But before I do, I am going to do my little, let me see here, my intro. And it's so funny, y'all. Every time I get on here, I lose what my intro is. It's just like I can't never find it. But I will be right back and we'll get right into it. And I am back. I hope you all can see my screen. So I am going to go ahead and go through this information because it's really important. As I said, that all month long, it is going to be all about sharpen your interview skills month. And it's powered by iRock Resume. So I want you to take a look at that and just think about, when your next interview comes up, you don't want to be stressed about interviewing at all. So what you want to do is make sure that you are prepared for your interview ahead of time. I always love the 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Always. Because if you're prepared and you start sharpening up your skills now, then you don't have to be so fearful of an interview. A lot of times I get clients in who just, interviewing is tough. I do understand that. But I get a lot of clients in who haven't interviewed in a long time, and they are just not sure themselves on how to present themselves. And so they engage my coaching to go through the interview prep to make sure that they feel more confident. And that's sharpening their skills, because here's what I always tell you. If you are going into an interview without preparing and just winging it, then you're really not serious about your future with that organization. You want to make sure that you're giving it all that you can so that you can land the job. Because a resume, as I always say, is the first piece, is the first step. It actually helps you land the interview. Then, when you get into the interview, it's up to you to land the job, right? And if you're sharpening your skills and doing interview prep before the actual interview, you increase your chances by 50% or more because you've prepared. Now, of course, the ultimate decision is going to be based on the needs of the organization, but at least you're going and having a good showing in the actual interview. And here's another thing. If you do not get the job, you will have an impression on the interviewer, so that if there's another opportunity that comes up, you're top of mind. That just happened to one of my clients in the running for this awesome opportunity. And then they chose another person. He did invest in interview prep. And the good news about it, they say he interviewed so well that there's going to be another opportunity opening up, and they're going to think about him for it. So it was a no, but maybe for the future. So you never know. So that's why you really want to make sure that you're building your skill set and going there hoping to get the job and doing your best to get the job. But if you don't, you had such a good showing that they remember you for the next opportunity. And guess what? You can be the prime candidate for the next go around. And that's why it's so important to make sure that you're preparing for your actual interview. So the first tip that I want you all to see is you had me at hello. I always say that. That's what this whole topic today is about. You had me at hello. So all month long, I'm going to be walking you through different phases of what you need to do in an actual interview. And it's always good to have a great opening statement. Now, I want you to think about the opening statement as setting the tone for the whole entire interview. And if done well, you can answer a lot of the interview questions even before they're asked. That's why it's so important that you have them at hello. When you open up your mouth, that as soon as the interview starts, you're giving them all the reasons on why you are the best candidate for this role. So that's what this topic today is all about. You had me at hello, which is also known as the opening statement. Now, what I want you to think about as far as an opening statement, almost like an attorney, right? Attorneys have an overarching theme about what they're going to go into the actual opening arguments for their case. So there's an overarching theme, and then they support that theme. I want you to think about your opening statement to be the same thing. So first, you want to, of course, open by thanking them for the opportunity. You want to say, thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to sit before you and to present my skill set. And then I want you to say something really slick. By the end of this interview, my goal is stating your goal that you're glad that you did invite me to this interview. So it's okay to state your goal because that's what you want to do. And guess what? It does. It actually centers you for what you're going to say, and it actually calms down your nerves. So by having a goal for your theme, that's what you want to do. And that's what attorneys do. And then it's easy for the interviewers to follow where you're going with your opening statement, and also makes them at ease to say, oh my gosh, this is going to be an easy interview for me. And then you want to make sure that you're stating very clearly why you are pursuing the job. Why are you pursuing the role? Are you just showing up just to show up? Or why are you pursuing it? So you want to make sure that you weave in your why. You don't want to just interview for a job just because. You want to interview for a job because it is your dream job and it's something that you're really interested in doing in your career. So if you can't even answer that question, then maybe it's something that you probably shouldn't interview for. And that's the truth. So make sure that you're thinking about my overarching theme of why I'm going into this actual interview. And it's going to be different depending on the actual job that you're applying for. Hopefully not too different, but within your target. So it's okay to have several types of opening statements to show what your overarching theme is in alignment with the actual role that you're going for. So again, state your overarching theme by thanking them for the opportunity to sit before them to share your expertise. Then you want to state your goal. What is your goal that you're going to hope to end with? So therefore, again, you're setting their minds to what your goal is at the end, and you're centering yourself. So you're eliminating those nerves. Then you want to say why you are pursuing the job. You got to give your why. Otherwise, you're just there. So you don't want to do that. So that's the first thing that you want to do. Now, here's another thing. You want to talk about what you bring to the role. So reference your resume to tie in what you're about to say. That's why it's so important to know your resume. Don't just send it in and don't review it and don't even think about it, because your resume is actually your pillar for everything that you're going to set yourself up for in that interview. I always say the resume's job is to tell such a compelling enough story that you get invited to the interview to tell the rest of the story. So you want to make sure that you're bringing that resume, tying it back in. Now, I will give you a caveat for this. I do not want you to state everything that's obvious on your resume, unless they ask, of course. But you want to give a high level overview of the resume in alignment with the actual job description. So that's number two. So give three things you bring to the role that align with the job description. Okay. Make sure you have three things that you bring to the role that align with the job description. And you should be pulling from your resume to be able to do that. You see how those go hand in hand? So you want to make sure you're speaking the same language and not just interviewing and answering their questions based on whatever they ask you. What is the purpose? So you're setting this up so you can answer those questions right away. And then explain why those three things are important to that role and important to you, because you want to also make sure that you're showcasing that you have the experience for those top three things that are in that job description. Most job descriptions have competencies and key things that they're looking for. Select a couple of those, two of the three, and talk about those in your opening statement. You'll get a chance to talk about those more in the actual interview. We're going to be talking about that on next week. So make sure you come back next week to hear about the actual interview. So this is about the opening statement. So set the tone. Then you want to go and round it out with you as who are you as a professional? Okay. So who are you as a professional? Do you have a calm demeanor? Are you a go-getter? Are you results driven? Do you have a growth mindset? Who are you? And the best way to find out who you are is basically ask your peers, ask your manager, ask your family. Think about those, even your mentors. Ask them who do you see me as a professional, and grab those roles. And then you look back at the job description and see what they're asking for. They may ask for a go-getter. They may ask for someone who's detail oriented. They may ask someone who can get along with a lot of people, build relationships quickly. So you want to make sure you're rounding it out with you as a professional, still going back to the actual job description. Okay. So when you do these four steps, you're showcasing what you bring to the role. Again, you're still setting the tone. Okay, this is why I deserve this job. So make sure that you're doing that as well. Okay. So the next tip is end with something on a personal touch. You see the doggy and the kid. I just love it. So you want to avoid being all business, because no one wants to hire a worker bee that does nothing but work, 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 work. Because to me, or to anybody who's interviewing, that is a sure sign of burnout, not being engaged, and not looking to you, because you get something that is good for you, something that makes you feel good. Maybe it's something about your favorite team, and maybe that'll get a lot of conversation with that, talking about your favorite team. And so you can talk about that and what you do for that. Maybe you have, parties over to your home where you do some, or you may do tailgating. Talk about something like that. What about a hobby? What kind of hobby do you do? Are you a do you knit, like we just found out about Michelle Obama, that she learned how to knit over the pandemic? Or are you a scrapbooker like me? Y'all know I always talking about me and this scrapbooking, right? I love scrapbooking. And when I talk about it, people either know someone who does scrapbooking, or have seen beautiful scrapbooks. So that lights me up. And it also makes me calm when I'm talking about myself in an actual interview. So again, you've already centered yourself. Now you're calming yourself down to be able to receive the questions that are come before. Then you can also talk about animals. Like you all hear me talk about Bam Bam, who I spoil rotten. It's not my dog, it's my daughter's dog, but I am the mama. By me even saying that, people smile and laugh at that. So you're the mama. Yes, I am the mama, and I spoil him rotten. And then think about extracurricular activities. Now, this new craze about pickleball is out, right? So maybe you are into pickleball, or maybe you are into swimming, or you do some softball or something like that. Talk about those extracurricular activities, and even you may be even a coach of your child's sport or youth sports. Maybe you're a t-ball coach, maybe you're a volleyball coach, or you do some cheerleading coaching. So talk about something that makes it personal so they get to know you. And guess what happens? People are more likely to engage with you. So the whole goal is to bring them into your world, because you're building that relationship by the way that you're talking about who you are. You're first opening up setting the tone by giving them your overarching theme. Then you're actually talking about why you were, what you bring to the table for the role. And then you're going to end with a personal touch, because they need to see that you are indeed a human. So that's what a great personal opening statement should be. And that's how you have somebody at hello. And then you can basically drop the mic and exit stage left, because you have set the tone and you're ready to receive those questions that they're going to present to you. So at the end, you want to say thank you. And you want to make sure that you follow with a thank you letter. We're going to talk about that at the end as well. But after you've told them something personal about you, you want to thank them again for inviting you to speak with them about this great opportunity. You see how easy that is? That's basically a framework that you can use right there to develop your opening statement before you get in. And I want you to practice that in the mirror, practice it with your mentor, practice it with a coworker, so it can roll off your tongue and also be very genuine when you're saying it. So when you have these bullet points and just write it out, I will say never write out thick paragraphs, just things that would jot your memory. Because if you do it from that perspective, it's easier for you to get it. And then it's going to sound more natural and not rehearsed. So that's what I wanted to bring to you on today. So I'll go ahead and end this show. And hopefully that was very helpful for you for those tips. So if you all have any questions or anything like that, you can ask those now. But that's what I really want you to think about. How can you have them at hello during the interview? I've interviewed literally hundreds and hundreds of people throughout my 23 plus year career. I shouldn't say hundreds and hundreds. I probably should say tens, a couple of tens, because yes, maybe I should say that. Tens of people all through my career, hiring people, interviewing people, and all this kind of stuff, probably close to 100 over 23 years. And I've always looked for, how do they bring their genuine self? Is their thought process clear? Can I walk through and understand what they're bringing to the table? When they do that, then it helps me to be able to know the questions I'm going to ask, and also listen for other things that I need for that actual role. So make sure that you're being prepared for your interview, because again, it's all about sharpening your interview skills all this month. So September was all about International Update Your Resume Month. Last month was all about International Update Your LinkedIn Month. So it makes sense to go through now the interview, because that's walking through the whole thing of you doing your job search and your career change, whatever you're doing, to get you ready for that next great opportunity. And what better time to have it than now? Because you know what happens in ready great opportunities. Okay. So I hope this was helpful for you all. I am so excited to be with you. And next week, I never have my topics on what next week is. I No, he didn't put it in here. So y'all, okay, I gotta I gotta get my assistant to make sure that he. Oh no, he did put it in here. Yay, it's here. Okay, next week's topic is this: get a gold star on your interview answers. Yes, we're going to talk about the STAR method. And I want you to get a gold star on your interview answers. And I'm going to walk you through how you're going to do that and the why behind that as well. So make sure you join me on next week for the next iteration of this series on sharpening your interview skills. Okay. So that's what I want you to do. So thank you all so much for joining me. And remember to subscribe to the channel. Let me put that up. You should be able to find it at so you use the Get Hired Strategist, and I should pop up. So I'm really excited about that. But subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notified when I am on the next time. Thank you all so much for joining me. Let me see who else. Oh, yeah, that's right. You got that right, Miss Nairobi. You are on my calendar to get that all rocked out. Yes. Thank you so much. Okay. And that's all I have for you. I am for you. Go to iRockResumes.com, fill out the contact us form, and then get on our calendar, because we will be closing the business down as I always do. I think it's the last Saturday, no, the December 17th, somewhere around there. Yeah, December 17th. So we can do a lot of housekeeping things, getting in preparation for 2023. I cannot believe it's 2023, y'all. Oh my gosh, time is going by. And also, let me see, make sure you join the community at iRock. I'm going to go over here, see if I can put this up real quick. And then I would love for you all to join. Let me see, where's all of my stuff here? Okay, here this is. So the break room. Make sure you join the break room, become a part of the community. Lots of great things that are going to be coming up. So we're still building that community. So over on the bottom of your screen, there's a QR code. Scan that code and you should be able to get access and join the community. So I'd love to have you there. And at the top here, let me stop this little ticker box. So you can also get our business, online business. If you need help with your resume, you need help with your LinkedIn, or even if you need help with your interview prep, that's what I'm here to help you do. All right. So thank you all so much for joining me yet again for another episode of iRock TV, where we talk about real careers, real results, and we have real conversations. Okay. Real talk. Thank you all so much and make it a great day. Bye.